I'm back again for the second time in as many minutes, it feels like, because they dropped this 7 minutes ago as I was trying to eat my damn dinner, with a whole new trailer showing it off in a airline kind of style. So we'll watch it all the way through for the first time round. I won't say anything, and then we'll break it down a little bit more in depth to see what we can see. All right, let me get rid of my face and put the volume on.
Travelers, explorers, adventure seekers. With all travel bans to Caldera lifted, you may now book tickets to Caldera on Pacific Horizon Air. Caldera, a hidden paradise. Enjoy awe-inspiring landscapes. Visit sites from Caldera's storied past. Survey the land from above by climbing natural rock formations. Explore underground caves. Take a dip in a river or stream. Fuel up on the artisanal organic produce harvested locally. Caldera, the Emerald of the Pacific. Free flights starting December 9th. Pacific Horizon Air is not responsible for any death, parachute-related accidents, gas-related deaths or injury, anti-aircraft fire, tennis elbow, food poisoning, or any similar instances. Should Pacific Horizon Air become engaged in aerial combat, an early exit may be required. What are you waiting for? Book your trip today.
Alright, so there's a lot there to unpack, I guess we could say. Let me shrink this down a bit. There we go. Right, let's go back to the beginning, and what I am going to do is just turn this down so we don't have her voice screaming at us. Yes, I'd like to watch it again, Twitter, thank you. That's a big old drop, like that's a lot of verticality just in the first clip. I like this. The question is, she says a little bit later on, you might have caught it says like you can go in the rivers and like take a paddle or like, you know, relax. Can you go in this? Because this looks quite deep, and like I presume this is the drop that we saw there, possibly. That was different verticality altogether. But I like the look of this. Like there's enough cover here without it being overkill. A lot of vegetation. Some nice fish. That's going to be a hot spot for campers, I can already tell you that. More water. Obviously, I get that it's in the Pacific and like that was its whole theme. But how is this going to interact? More buildings. There's not a massive amount though. That map that I covered literally like 10 minutes ago made it look like there was a lot of buildings. And obviously we've not seen them as built up areas. But the buildings themselves look interesting. They don't look like they're going to be easy to camp in, which is not a bad thing from my perspective. Interesting to see if you can get in this lighthouse, that's for sure. A lot of vegetation. Interesting if this mist stays in during the game, or if it's there for the trailer purposes. That'll be super interesting to see, because that could obscure some visibility. I was concerned there was going to be so much vegetation that you'd get a lot of people sat in bushes, but it looks like it's a lot of trees, a lot of larger pieces of vegetation, which is good. Kind of sort of stuff that's enough to move between to kind of hide your movement, but not so much that you're going to be able to sit in there. And obviously this looks like it's from the top of the volcano or the peak. Good visibility from up here. There's going to be a few snipers that want to get their hands on this, that's for sure. This is the ancient ruins, I presume. This must be in the capital centre. That's going to be a hot spot, I reckon. That could be like the new super, the new hospital, I guess as it is now. That could be a ton of loot, a lot of gunfights, but also the potential for people to be sat in corners. A lot more water. By climbing natural rock formations. So hopefully rocks are easier to climb. I mean, they'll have to be. There's no way they can make them more difficult, surely. I like that a lot. I was worried that the mines were going to be like, you know, a few meters long and then they'd be blocked up by a rockfall. But if there's like hidden caves and like stuff to explore and like the underground aspect of it, I like that. There it is. It's take a dip in the river or stream. So you can definitely get in it then. That looks like it leads to the farm, potentially. Gas station is still going to be an icon, so we can still use that call out. Fantastic. The carts are back, or staying rather. It looks well vegetated to a point of not being able to use it as cover, but using it just to kind of make your way through. I like this. A lot of bridges. A lot of bridges. Like, can we go in water that's this fast flowing, or is that going to be like a no-no? Surely it's one for all on the water. This is more of the capital, so that's that big building that we kind of had a front-on shot of, and then this is the rest of the capital. A lot of buildings can be, I think it's going to be downtown vibes, if I'm honest. I think it's going to be downtown vibes, unless there is some stellar loot in here, and you get a lot of the sweats dropping in, and that's really going to kind of dictate it, I think. This is the beach. Airport. We didn't get much more of a look at airport, which is interesting. And this ship is pretty cool, I have to say. That was Subpens, wasn't it? I'm almost certain. Or that'll be the area Subpens is in. Okay, some more houses. A lot more like, I guess, house-to-house combat on like a wider scale. Tennis courts. I'd love to get a game in. A lot of really interesting aspects to that could be picked apart and speculated on. And I think the main takeaways are the water features aren't going to be an issue, which is what I was initially concerned about. And the vegetation that I was initially worried about was going to be like dense and people going to sit in bushes. Looks a lot more like it's going to cater to making your way through it and using it as cover while you're moving, as opposed to sitting in it and kind of waiting for people to come to you. This peak is still an unknown. They haven't really shown us a massive amount, and I'm keen to get a look at that properly and see what's good with that, because I think there's also a building near or on top of it, judging by the map that we had a look at in the last video, if you want to go check that out to see what I'm referring to. But this is good. I'm interested. There's going to be a ton more information coming out in the coming days. I'll try my best to keep on top of it. I'm not here Saturday, Sunday this weekend, so apologies if I miss anything then. But let me know what you're most excited to see in Caldera from this video. I want to see more of this peak. That's all I really want to see now. It's just a little bit more of this peak to see what's the visibility's like across the rest of the map. As always, if you did enjoy the video, give it a like. Subscribe if you want to find your way back. Hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.